Hi there. If you're watching this on YouTube, or you're wanting to watch any of my content on my channel, or both for that matter, I would strongly recommend hitting the subscribe button and comment and like on any videos if you may wish, because this is a general audience channel. Also, this video is not made for kids, it is for older fans and adults alike. So please sit back and enjoy the video. Revealed Identity. Written and told by Julyleonard. Donald and Douglas, the Scottish engine twins, were depressed as they find life difficult. After Wilbert left to return home to his sheltered valley in Gloucestershire through the mainland, they had been busier than ever before lately. The Fat Controller quickly sized up the situation and came to see them.
I understand your feelings, and I haven't forgotten my promise to bring in another saddle tank engine like Wilbert, he said. He should be arriving tomorrow from a heritage railway in the Midlands via the mainland.
Yes, sir, said the twins. They were excited, but relieved at the same time. The next morning, the new engine arrived. He was painted green with red lining, red buffers, 6 black wheels, and a nameplate saying Sheffield on both sides of his saddle tanks. The Fat Controller introduced him to the twins.
I'd like you two to meet Sheffield, he said. He will be assisting you on both branch lines and the main line alike. If he does well, I will be more than happy for him to be a part of our railway. Please show him around.
Nice to meet you two, piped Sheffield politely, whilst the Fat Controller drove away. The 3 engines went off together. They didn't mind what job they tackled, goods trains, coaches, and shunting alike. At first, the trucks tried tricks, but they soon found that playing tricks on Sheffield was a big mistake. Later that day, Sheffield was rostered to take some empty stone trucks to Farquhar on Thomas's branch line. When he arrived, he shunted them in a siding and Mavis took them down to the quarry. Percy, who was watching Sheffield whilst at a platform at a station and waiting for departure with his post train, was rather pensive about this. He reminds me of Wilbert, he said to himself. Presently, it was time for him to leave, but he couldn't stop thinking about the new saddle tank engine throughout the day. That night at the branch line sheds, Percy, alongside Thomas, Toby, and Daisy, began to quiz Sheffield about his adventures. Your design reminds me of another saddle tank engine named Wilbert, said Percy. That's because I'm an austerity saddle tank just like him, Sheffield replied. We had Wilbert, one of your kind, work on our line while Percy was away at the works, said Toby. And he told us about stories about an engine going by his number 16, who tumbled cab over wheels, finished Thomas. But then he and the other engines noticed an insecure look on the green saddle tank engine's face. What's the matter, Sheffield? Thomas asked. Sheffield paused and hesitated for a moment, and then spoke up. Forgive me for spilling the beans, but I was 16. The engines were shocked and astounded. You were 16? exclaimed Toby. That's right, came the reply. That was the number I carried at my steelworks. After I was placed at the back of the shed, I stayed there for many days until I was bought by a heritage railway in the Midlands, given this green livery, and I chose the name Sheffield after Sheffield Park on the Bluebell Railway. Then I met and made friends with 2 engines named Rowan, a Garrett engine, and Maxwell, an LMS Black 5, like Henry, one of your engines on your railway. During my time on the Heritage Railway, I realized that I was given a second chance, and I wasn't going to let that go to waste. I worked there for many years until your controller, by the name of Sir Topham Hatt, decided to purchase me. Thomas, Toby, Percy, and Daisy admitted that Sheffield, who was once 16, was a changed engine. The next day, Sheffield was called away to the Little Western to assist with ballast trains. He was shunted some loaded trucks in a siding for Donald to take away when he heard a voice calling, "Clear the area fast! A runaway is coming!" Some ballast hoppers had broke away from Mike, and they were heading straight towards the small railway yards. A workman tried to change the points, but they were jammed at the line to the ballast chute. Just then, Sheffield had an idea. "Driver, get me to an empty truck." So they buffered up to one of the empties. Then a shunter coupled him up, and Sheffield started shunting the truck in front of the chute. "If this doesn't work, you'll be in danger yourself, Sheffield," the driver called. "I know, don't remind me. Just drive me in the truck in front of the chute." Presently, the hoppers came into view. Sheffield shut his eyes and prepared for the worst. Then everything happened at once. One of the ballast hoppers came off the edge and landed into the empty truck, while the other hoppers remained upright. "It worked! Sheffield, you're a genius, nothing less," cried the driver. "Took some brain to save those hoppers," added the fireman. "No worries, lads," Sheffield replied, smiling, and then chuckled. Later, when the mess had been cleared away, the fat controller and small controller came to see the engines. Mike thought that he was going to be in trouble, but he was wrong.
"The accident wasn't your fault, Mike," said the small controller kindly. "A chain coupling was rusty and will be in need of replacing, so we'll say nothing more about it."
"Thank you, sir," sighed Mike, now relieved to hear it.
"And Sheffield," said the fat controller, smiling, "because you prevented a disaster and performed well on both the main line and branch lines alike, I am proud of you. I hereby announce you an official member of my railway."
"Oh, thank you, sir," said Sheffield happily. This was responded by a chorus of cheers and whistles from the small railway engines. Later that day, Sheffield received the railway's number 14 from the works, and after the increasing traffic on the Little Western died down, he was assigned to general duties all over the railway with or without Donald and Douglas regularly. He would even tell the other engines about his past adventures from both his steelworks and heritage railway, but they didn't mind at all. After all, he was a hard worker and soon became accustomed to life on Sodor to this very day.